Hello, everybody, and welcome to the chess coverage of the Glorney, Gilbert, Robinson, Stokes Cup. I'm just going to check everything's working first before going into a full-on spiel. See if we can get some people in the chat as well. I'm just going to check if it's working. Yeah, we're live, which is great. And I guess we'll wait for a few people to join the chat as well. Hello. Oh, hello, Altold. Good to see you the other month as well. Great to see. Can you hear me fine? Is the sound okay? Yes, come on, Wales, indeed. That's the reason. Even though this is the ECF streaming channel, there's going to be maybe a heavy Welsh bias in today's stream and tomorrow's stream as well. I must admit. Something exciting's just happened on the chessboard as well. Okay, so we're going to cover what this is all about because some people might watch this on record as well. So for those that don't know, the Glorney, Gilbert, Robinson, Stokes Cup is 4 separate kind of tournaments that all happen at the same time. It's a junior event, and it's currently being played between England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, and an international team. This cup has been going on for many, many years. Actually, I think I've got it here. Was 1964 was the first Six Nation Glorney. It probably goes back. This tournament before then even then. I played in it when I was a junior. It was back then. It was known as just the Glorney Faber Cup, and it was 2 under-18 tournaments. The Glorney was the Open or the boys tournament, shall we say, and the Faber, which is now called the Gilbert, was the girls event, and it was usually five boys and 3 girls playing against the other countries. Historically, France, Holland, and Belgium have been involved in the past. Maybe some other countries like the Czech Republic, because I think I did play in Prague once, and that was a great Glorney. Ask Ian Eustace about that one. He'll tell you it was a fantastic one. And basically we play against so here we're playing against the home nations mainly, I guess due to costs at the moment. It gets travelled around. So this year it's currently taking place obviously in England. It's taking place in Hull, which is only a few days before the British Championship starts, which I guess is why they're holding it there. We've got 4 different events. So the Glorney is under 18. The Open, the Gilbert is under 18 but for girls only. Then you've got the Robinson, which I believe is under 14. And then you've got the Stokes, which is under 12. When I was playing, the Stokes and Robinson didn't exist, and they're over quite a few boards as well, some of those younger events too. I think all of these sections, I believe that England have actually got 2 teams. They've got an A and a B team. Then obviously Wales, Scotland, Ireland, and then the international team as well makes 6 teams total, which gives us 5 rounds of chess. We're currently in round 4, I think it'd probably be wise to have a look at all of the scores, shall we say, up to date so far, because they've been very positive. And I believe that there's also a fact as well that might impact a few things. So this is the Glorney under 18 now. We can see here that somebody's had a draw early on. So that's been updated already. At the halfway, after 3 rounds, actually it was Wales that were on top. They've won all 3 matches. They beat Ireland, Scotland, and England B. 2-4-1 scores and a 3.5 1.5 score. But they're closely followed by England, who have also, that's their A team. They've won all their matches as well, just by not as many game points. So I guess they're joint leaders. And then the international team is not exactly doing badly. So I'll have to look at whether these scores are from now. Let me just have a look. Is international playing against? No, they can't be playing against England. So they lost a match then. They must have lost a match. Who did they play? Let's go back to where would be playing schedule? No. Let's go back to round 1 then. Here and just scroll down a little bit. So the international team won first 4-1. Did they play against England A or B then? Just an international team. They lost to England A 3.5, 1.5. Okay, so that's why they were in second place. And obviously Ireland are here as well. They'd lost a couple of games, but won one game. Scotland have not won any yet, by the looks of things, but have got some points on the board. And England B look like they're struggling, but they're actually quite a strong team as well. So in the Glorney Cup, anybody is capable of beating anybody. And I think one stat for you that I believe I've seen, and it definitely didn't happen in my day, even though we were some of the strongest Welsh players. I believe that Wales have not actually won the Glorney at all. I don't think we've ever won the Glorney Cup. Now, of course, this isn't obviously the top juniors from each of these countries. Otherwise, we'd see the likes of Shreyas Royal playing for England, which doesn't happen. Freddie Gordon playing for Scotland, for example, which doesn't happen. Even Ireland have got, let's say, Taran Kanyamurala and Trisha. They're not playing, so it's not the absolute best of the countries, but it is a team event, and it's a great opportunity to give all of these children some caps, really. Yeah, I know. I agree with the chat. We'll come on to that later on, and I might have been going bald, tearing my hair out over it, to be honest. And that's referencing the comments in chat about some of them are rushing their moves in the younger age groups, but we've got some very young children there. So Wales are doing very well in this event. Obviously, England are very close. It's between those two at the moment. And it's going to be a very close match. The international team are not far behind as well. It's still in with it. In the Gilbert, this is the girls' event. It's only over 3 boards, and it looks like England A are currently joint top with Scotland. Only just having to score in a few more game points, a half a point more game point by the looks of things. And then closely followed by England B. Wales have got a win under their belt, which is great. And then the international team in Ireland are yet to get any match points, but seem to have got an odd few points here and there as well. So that's pretty good for them. So we're going to be paying close attention to that too. We often do struggle in that tournament, Wales do. So the under-14, the Robinson. This is being led by Scotland and England A again. England B in second place. Third place. 2 match points behind, so they've lost to England A. Wales have got a win on the board, which is great. They beat Ireland. And so, didn't completely do too badly again in the losses to Scotland and England B. They scored 2 points and 2.5 respectively. That's not bad at all. The international team hasn't got a win yet, but has got some good game points, as has Ireland as well. So that's the Robinson. Very much England dominating, and I think Scotland won the Glorney last year, but usually England does dominate this event. The international team is a new thing this year. I've not seen that before. I think it's a fantastic idea because we've got loads of juniors from different flags, especially Ukraine, that are living in England or Wales or Scotland, and they can play in this event. And so it's a really good idea to actually make a team out of them and have them participate. The Stokes teams, the under-12 teams, I believe this is over quite a number of boards. So it's quite, you see some bigger scores here. Got 6 points there, so that must have been a big one. Being led by England A again. They've got 3 wins under the belt. Or is that 3 wins, or is that 2 wins in the draw over the 6 boards? So that's 2 wins in the draw so far. The international team have got 2 wins and a loss. England B are on 1 win, 1 draw. England B, Scotland and Ireland are all on the same match points of 1 win of 3 match points, 1 win, 1 draw and 1 loss. I very much doubt anybody's got 3 draws total. And then unfortunately looks like Wales is really struggling in the under-12 section, which is a bit of a surprise really, because I would have thought that with all the coaching that's going on in Wales at the moment, our under-12 team would be pretty good. But I haven't met most of the under-12 team, but actually have had a lot to do with the under-18 team. I've seen a lot of these players around as well, and I'll talk you through them as we go through. So yeah, Wales are doing very well in the Glorney. The Gilbert, Robinson, the Stokes looks like it's being led by England A. So we can start cracking on with looking at some of these games. We're currently at towards the end of round 4. If you have a look at the clocks that we've got, we'll see how long's left. So this is currently board 1 of Wales versus the international team. And here they've got just over 30 minutes left each. So we're going on for just over an hour to cover all of these games right to their conclusion. And then we should be back on tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. To go over the last round to see who's going to win each section. And might be 10 a.m. I'll have to check that. But look out, I'll tweet about what time we're definitely going to be on and double check it before we do. But okay, let's start digging into some of these games. So playing for Wales here is Ewan Cave, who's actually just transferred over, or relatively new to Welsh chess, but he's obviously clearly qualifies, played in the Welsh Championships. He did very, very well, actually. I really don't think his rating of 2019 is too accurate. He's definitely going to be one to watch for the future, and he's clearly coming through very strong. He's not scared of anybody at all. Looks like they've got quite an interesting position here going on. In fact, is that a tactic there that Maxim has missed? And now Maxim, I saw him. Pretty sure I sat next to him at the Crew Congress only a month ago. I'm just wondering here, has he actually got a tactic here that actually just wins? Is this it? So the bishop's attacking the queen and covering all of these squares. Oh no, hang on a minute. What am I on about? The queen can just go to g6. Is that a simple thing or not? It looks like a sensible thing that can happen. Obviously he's thinking about it at the moment because the queen can't move away to safety, because then we'll take the pawn on f7, and that would be pretty bad to allow that to happen. So I guess the other thing that he's thinking about here is, can he take the bishop with the pawn, sacrificing the rook? Well, I doubt this very much. You kind of can't move the king forward because you take the other rook, and so therefore he's got to block with the knight. That doesn't look too. I don't know about. That doesn't look too sensible, to be honest. I can't see black playing that. So I'm just wondering what's making Maxim think here, because maybe he's got another move such as bishop g6 to cover here, perhaps. Maybe this is an option. Bishop takes queen, bishop takes queen. Again, it just doesn't seem to make sense. Well, why not just take the queens off and then just take on g7 and just play it this way? I don't see why you should leave white with the two bishops here. Maybe black can win the g2 pawn or something, but if you do it this way, then we'll come here. If you go rook h7, then maybe bishop e5, and this is just a bit of a mess, really, isn't it? White's maybe a pawn up, but it feels like black's going to win it back. Anyway, so yeah, I don't wonder what he's thinking about here. Then maybe queen g6. What's wrong with queen g6? Is there something that I'm missing that's so simple for white? There's equal material at the moment. You can't take on f7. So I wonder what Maxim's actually thinking about. Maybe there's another move that we've missed here. Is there another move that we missed that he's thinking about here? Don't know. Okay, I'm just going to... Yeah, I mean, okay. So, well, we'll come back to this. There's still obviously half an hour left. Looks like these guys are battling it out. There's quite an interesting opening, actually, from a Caro. I've only played through this one because it's the first one that crops up. And obviously this is one of the main lines, but obviously knight e2 here is a bit unusual. You can see that I've got the book on here on the bottom right. So we're just really identifying where the opportunities are. And this is all pretty standard, I should imagine, from here. But then this e5 move was really aggressive from Maxim. Really asking the question, what you're going to do in the centre. Feels also a little bit risky as well. So that's why you only see we've only got one game in the database on with this move. And so yeah, the pin seems natural, and then the pawn comes forward, and that's how we've ended up getting to this situation here, where at this point bishop g5 has been played, which obviously Ewan is hoping that this causes some problems for Maxim to deal with, and we'll see how that goes. So to have a look at Bentz's game. So he's black against Roman Kowalski. And okay, this is looking relatively level at the moment, isn't it? Yeah, maybe Roman's got a slightly better pawn structure because Bentz's f-pawns are technically doubled, but and this bishop maybe is just hitting a pawn on d4, so I think white would maybe be a little bit happier in this situation, but it feels like it's all to play for here, if you ask me. And he's giving up 100 rating points there as Bentz, but I'm pretty sure he's pretty confident that he's going to do okay in this position. Got a few things to think about, I guess, as the time gets down. Good to see that neither of them are in time trouble actually here at all. So let's keep moving through because we've got a lot of games to look at here. So Chin Chin Wu against Vivash Ansara Samaragun. Okay, so equal at the moment, but I think we prefer white's piece activity. The knight and bishop are better than the two knights. And rook f to b8. Was that necessary? That feels like a very weird move to play. I would, as much as the b pawn was under attack by the queen, I would pretty much do everything possible not to play rook f b8. Why would you do this one? I mean, I don't understand it. Why would you do that rook? I mean, it feels like I move heaven and earth not to play rook fb8 in that situation. So it feels like, yeah, I mean, okay, we've got these kind of discoveries coming down here as well if we move this c-pawn out the way, but I mean, who knows what will happen. But did you really have to play rook fb8? I mean, it just seems, like a crazy thing to do. Could we not even just do this one? Is this so bad? I mean, this knight covers this pawn if that's what you're worried about. It's a bit weird that both knights are guarding the pawns on a7 and c7. We'll forget this because actually c5 has been played immediately. And there's some big threats coming now with knight to e7, check winning the queen. So I guess he has to move his king here. But maybe he was thinking here that actually here after bishop takes a7 he can't take it because of knight e7 check. Maybe that's what he was thinking. But I don't know, it just feels like why would I can't play rook fb8 here and be happy with it. So I'm sure Vivash is not happy with the situation, and a very quick c5, trying to input some time pressure on his opponent there. Okay, looks like Ellison's got a bit of time trouble here as black against Mathur. And 10 minutes to 50. So Mathur Pranav is definitely playing quite fast, but then again he's got a good position by the looks of things, and he's a pawn up as well, or white is here, but I guess black is about to recapture it, so I assume something like this might happen next. But okay, yeah, so he's couldn't take back this way because then the rook takes on d5, so he's inserted this move here, but is this going to get taken? And then some crazy tactics about to ensue. So Ellison might be under a bit of pressure here, trying to not go a pawn down with not much time on the clock. It's going to be tough. And it's only 5 boards in this tournament, and Ethan is against Vanik Singh here. And Ethan's been a really good find. We've always seen Chen Chen, Ellison and Bentz have all been around Welsh chess for a good few years now. Ethan, I think, only discovered maybe a year or two ago at the max, and he's come in on the 5th board here for Wales and doing a good job. And I'm just wondering, what is this king doing on e7? This is not the strongest place to have your king in this type of position. And what, we equal material? What is going on? I'm trying to count. Yeah, we are exactly equal material. There's a king on e7. These 3 pieces here are not very, very happy. They're completely out. There's a potential fork that will win a rook. Okay, cost of the bishop, looking like pretty good for Ethan at the moment. So only 13 moves at this point. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is. How did we get here? This is a crazy position, and okay, I guess this is why. Then we get a king's gambit, not craziness, and this is main line, and then queen f6 is a bit unusual by the looks of things, but I guess black is just making it up, right? And it's so difficult. If you don't know your line against the king's gambit, then you're going to get into trouble because you have to know what you're doing. And okay, this was the mistake that black made, because after here, takes, and he won the pawn back that he sacked in the opening. Now after queen d3, he didn't need to do this because he loses the bishop and then the king traps the knight in. So he's just waiting. Bring the other rook into the game, and this king should not last very long here. So I'm liking that game. Maybe not liking Ellison's, but anything can happen in that match. We've got England versus Ireland as well going on. So I am going to be skipping through these games pretty quickly. We'll look at some of the top boards and then we'll take an overall view as well, as quick as we can. But here, a father versus Jack. Okay, 2 bishops, 2 rooks, queen, queen. Okay, so equal material, pin down the A file. There could potentially some tactics here. This kind of tactic, it doesn't quite work at the moment, but there's some things going on here that could spring it to life. It's very easy to miss something there. We have result here actually. So Ruben Evans has drawn with Oliver Barnes. And the England B and the Irish team is still very strong. Wales did very well to beat them both. So this is an interesting opening here at this point. So the centre and double pawns, but ruin your opponent's pawns. And then white activates the king, but unfortunately it's black still active enough to draw. So that's where half a point's come from. And then we've also got Ben has had a draw with Safia. And another Queen's Gambit exchange. Knight G3 is a bit weird. Yeah, black did really well here to just exchange pieces off. And okay, what is going on here? What? Knight A4, Queen check, Knight C3, Queen back, Knight A4, Queen. Yeah, the problem is sometimes is that. I don't know where. This is the Glorney team, so I don't know how old some of these players are. I know that when I was going there, maybe 15, 16, 17. Some of them will be 18 as well because of the school year. You make friends with some of your compatriots as well that you see, and hopefully they're having a good time together. I remember going bowling as well and having a great time as a team, and also with the other teams too. And we've also got another. Oh no, that's a different match down there. So these two games have been drawn a little bit. They could have played on there, couldn't they? But maybe leaving it to their teammates to do. And we've got Austin, Ivan, and Gabriel Landmark over here, which are playing this quite interesting game. And I think Austin might be with a bit of an advantage here. This pin that he's got on this A file is going to really prove quite decisive. If this pawn can, he's threatening to just win a pawn, right? But even if he doesn't even win that pawn, if he just pushes forward, then it's going to be really good for him. And he can't. Taking this way is really dangerous because you take that way, then this D5 pawn. I mean, you can just take it back if he wanted, but the D5 pawn as well will be really bad. And White's king is placed much better than the black king, so I can understand why Gabriel's having a really good think here, because he's in a bit of trouble. I think this B5 advance has been well played. Looks like it was out of some sort of London system as well, which is quite interesting. But okay, we've got Rahul versus Dominic, and there's a king on D2. Somehow it's safe and there's no checks on it. This is a little bit mental. Then what's the rook doing on H4? This is crazy. Rahul's clearly been having too much fun here with 46 minutes on his clock, and Dominic is thinking to himself probably, surely I must be winning here. I have a knight on D3, his king's on D2, the rook on H4 looks out of play. How can I win this? But actually, it looks, I don't know about you, it looks pretty difficult for black to actually break through. He has to be careful he doesn't just lose this pawn and then the knight might fall. So maybe he has to play something like F5 here, but there are some tactics for white here as well. Taking here, he maybe has to sack his rook for the bishop to try and break through. But Dominic here is definitely really pushing it there on that one. But okay, we've had a draw in the Scottish versus England A top board, which is Arya Munshi versus Rahul Babu. We'll just play through this one pretty quickly and exchange Slav, and then a lot of exchanges. And what did they just agree? A draw after 15 moves, not using any time. Oh, come on, boys! Let's see some fighting chess, or maybe they're just I guess from maybe Rahul's point of view, England are pretty strong all the way down, so he's just got to hold the top board and try and let fellow players do the work, and looks like that's actually happened here as we scroll down to Carl Pelling versus Zachary Patton, because it looks like Carl's actually won this game and done that job for England on the bottom boards, on board 4 here. And okay, out of this, was it a Caro? I completely missed that actually. Yeah, it was a Caro, yeah. Exchange Caro. And you see the difference in the 2 bishops here, which has happened. And Zachary, you've only used 1 hour 24 at this moment in time. To be in this position is pretty shocking, because you are just really bad. This bishop on d7 is just terrible compared to White's bishop, and therefore when White opens up the game, this is going to be pretty good. Did a good job of activating the bishop, but still not using enough time at all. He's only used 8 minutes by. They start with an hour and a half, and no wonder Carl's able to get a massive attack with a massive bishop like that. And here after, was it h6? Looks like black resigned here. Oh, I see, because after g6, can we take it? Is that the point? Is this the point? Takes, king f8? Not so sure that wins instantly. Maybe I'm missing something. Oh, maybe, yeah, bishop g7 here, check. Could be taken actually, which is annoying. Yeah, I guess so. So I don't know. Is this game actually finished, or is it still going on? I think it's finished. Looks like he's resigned, but where the end was is anybody's guess. It looked like it ended here after h6. Maybe he just had enough, and he thought my position's terrible. My bishop's managed to make it from d7 to b5, but it's still not actually having any influence on the game, which came out from the opening. We did miss though. James versus J-Nil. James Merriman versus J-Nil Vidalia. And this is still in its infancy. Both players got all the pieces out. White's got a pawn centre. Black is chipping away from the sides. I like this this square. He's got to be careful though that his pieces don't become too weak. So that's got a lot of life left in it. And then we've also got Aditya versus Dylan Duke. Aditya Shrivastava. And this is looking very much like a draw. Although I've seen more drawn positions result in a somebody winning. So not much going on there. Yeah, I mean the Scottish team is a strong one, but we've got Aaron Rich as black here against I'm guessing it's Ewan McDiarmid. And that white world. This is so white's what? Okay, it's equal material. White's got the bishop versus the knight. I'm trying to work out if this king is badly placed or not. I'm trying to think, is the queen invades, but then the problem is the queen invades here. So I'm guessing black needs to cover that square, and then they can start invading with the queen. But I guess the weird point is, even if the queen gets to f1, there's not actually any checks, is there? I can't see any further checks after that, which is highly amusing. I guess the point is it might attack this guy, but I was expecting there to be a load of checks on this king, and there just actually isn't anything. Okay, let's take an overall view and then flick to the different tournaments. We've got a lot of tournaments to look at here. So, okay, so we had the queens did get exchanged in that board 1 game between Ewan McCabe and Maxim Lachikov, and the rest of them are kind of as we just left them, with some results in as well. Let's flip over to the Gilbert Cup, which is the girls tournament, and we've had some results already. So looks like Emma Kong has won for Wales against Sarah Kundan Khan, and then we've got here that Sahana Chakraborty is playing against Bronwyn Tucson. Well, let's actually just click on these in a bit bigger format, because we've played through the other ones. Let's just see what happened here. So we had a King's Indian, and Emma went for G4 advance, and then Sarah played H5, and Emma snaps that pawn off pretty quickly by the looks of things, trying to open up this G file for the rooks. Won the pawn instantly, and then it was a case of, well, swap queens off because I'm a pawn up, which does make some sense. And then okay, some doubling up of the rooks, and then just win the endgame. Okay, well that feels a lot simpler than what it should have been. I thought there was going to be a massive attack for white, but okay, well played, Emma there for getting the win, and winning this endgame should be pretty simple now, right? Okay. Then we got Sahana versus Brunwen, and looks like Brunwen's got a lot of pawns there for Sahana to deal with, and so Brunwen looks like she's moving towards trying to win. Who was board free for the Welsh girls? What's happened here? We've got player 19 versus player 18. I don't quite understand what's going on now. I'll find out. If I do find out, I'll let you know. I've got no idea. I thought that we had 3 girls playing for us. Was it Raga who was playing for us in Wales? Let me just say team composition with round results. Sometimes they... Okay, yeah, we had Bethan. That's it. Sorry, Bethan Mattingly. Having a tough time with it at the moment. But she was... Oh, I guess here as well, the international team actually only had 2 players, which is why that third board doesn't get played. So I guess they're looking for another international girl to play for them. Would have been nice, but okay, so that's why that game's probably just a friendly game of some sorts. Moving on to England versus Ireland. So this is Nicole White of Ireland against May Cataby. Similar to the Glorney, all to play for. Blacks. Hang on a minute, am I counting the pieces right? Yeah, I am counting the pieces right. All to play for, absolutely equal. Just maybe this bishop is maybe not quite as good. It's necessary to keep that bishop, but it doesn't look too good. And White's 2 knights are just holding White's position together at the moment. I do wonder though that later on in this game, this dark square bishop could really cause some problems if it gets on a killer diagonal somewhere. Might reroutes in here somewhere. I think Black's going to be the happier here. These rooks are obviously waiting to do an exchange sack or something. We do have a result here as Sophie Mehta versus Prisha Gupta. It says on my screen that Prisha won, which would be, I think, maybe a surprise. Well, okay, this is why then. So, okay, so bishop back and then b4, and the knight that's defending this pawn is now kicked away. And wins the bishop, and it's okay. Even though she won the pawn back on b4, the knight taking the bishop here was really positive for Black from this situation. Oh, very aggressive play rather than just castling Prisha. Knight e5, very, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so here the queen took, and then it got trapped in, but she sacked it for 2 rooks, which is well worth it. And then it's the case of, are the 2 rooks good? And the answer is yes. So that's a win for Prisha. And then we have Julie O versus Anjali Singh. So Julie is black here. And okay, queen takes queen has just happened. So if you're not a queen up, I'm afraid White's about to take that queen back. But this pawn on d4 is looking absolutely huge, isn't it? And how are you going to stop that pawn coming down? I think Julie's got a big advantage here as well. So Emily Maton of England versus Chrissa Mitraka, playing white here of Scotland. There's only 1 pawn in it. I've played Emily before in a long play game, and I had a pawn up against her in the same colour bishop endgame, and she managed to get a draw against me. She did play very well, to be fair. So I'm pretty sure she's going to play this endgame on for another 50 to 100 moves, even if she needs to, in order to try and win this game. And she's playing it on risk free. She can't possibly lose from this pawn up position. You'd think anyway. So she's going to try and grind down Chrissa, who's probably done okay with the rating difference there, to try and get to this situation where she's got great drawing chances, but she's going to have to use all of her skills to make sure that happens. We do have a result here that Anam Sheikh has beaten Florence Wilson. And okay, we get the Scotch out of the opening, and some aggressive play by White, of course, but it's not over. The attack temporarily ends, and then after bishop here, it's game over. Checkmate is now unavoidable. Oh wow. Bang. Rook takes f7. What a move. What a move. And she took 4 minutes to play it. No, not even that. 3 minutes to play it. Rook takes f7. Get that king out in the open. Yeah, it even has the peace of mind here to play knight c3. That's not even a check. Okay, rook e1 check was apparently a bad move, but I don't think it matters. It's still winning, and it's been winning for a long time. So she gets there in the end, and there's probably a quicker way to do it, but it doesn't even matter. I'm pretty sure she did rook takes f8 here. Black probably just resigned here at this point because she's losing everything. The whole house is going. So yeah, rook takes f7. What a move all the way back here. Where is it? So this move, bishop d7 here. Oh, that's unlucky. Bishop d7 and rook takes f7. Spell the end. And then we do have a draw on the bottom board of that Scotland v England game. So that's Angarad Hunt as white here against Michelle Chan. And they've just played out a draw. Some typical e4, e5 stuff though. And then some more exchanges. Black's king has not been castled here. So if I was Angarad here, I'd have been tempted to launch some attack here. Maybe she saw that Anam Sheikh was winning on board 2 and thought, well, a draw would be a good result. Michelle did, maybe because she's got a big rating advantage over Angarad, but maybe just get your king castle and just play sensible chess might be a good option. So let's just go back to the overall view. And okay, so Wales should beat the international team. England, I don't know which one they are, which England A or England B, but England are currently ahead against Scotland and against Ireland. Well, against Ireland it's looking like a really close match because board 2, Prisha beat Sophie. So May Catterby and Julio have got to play out of the bag for England. And Julio looks like she's got a win in the bag with that past D pawn. But May Catterby's got a very good position against Nicole, but needs to grind out. There's still a lot of technical work there. Now, I'll probably come down to these games here, and I'm half expecting some of them to be finished already. So we are going to have an overall view, and we'll click on the ones that are still playing. So they've finished already. Then we'll have a look at how long is left on the clock as well, because it's not too good. Although some of these players are actually pretty good, actually. So it's not. Not that they'll be rushing their moves all the time, you would think. But okay, we've got a lot of results actually to go through. So hang on, all of the Scotland v England games are still going on, apart from one, which is the second board. And that's Nayan Keats Rastogi has beaten Rakaram Parusa. 2 rooks against a knight in the end. But all the other 5 boards are still going. In the Wales versus international match, Wales versus international match, we've got 1, 2, 3 results already in, and yeah, that's really quick, isn't it? So okay, well we'll start from the first one, and then we'll go up. So here Yaroslav is currently a piece down against Nicholas from Spain, and yeah, I don't think he's got much counterplay, I'm afraid. So I think that's going to be a win for Nicholas soon, and he's going to join Mather here, who's beaten Danilo with his London system. So was through this. So Danilo's here played bishop e7, bishop g3, bishop d6, just to challenge the dark square bishop and play the very sensible setup. So this all looks pretty normal from now. But this kind of this positional idea here of just taking this knight off, just to plant the knight into e5 to put some pressure on the opponent. The thing that really gets me here is the amount of time being used. 1 hour 24 and 1 hour 28 is just far too quick. We're 19 moves into the position already. We saw in the other Glorney games that actually they were still on move 15 or something, and they were down to 35 minutes each. Now, it's not saying that that's great time management, but there could have been better options here for white and black. Definitely playing far too fast at the moment. Okay, a lot of these moves look sensible. There might have been different options, but this is where games are won and lost. And I guess what white is going to try and do now is just try and attack down this side of the board. The knight's in the right place. Yeah. Okay, hi guys, hi everybody. I'm just casually looking over to my other screen to see the chat. Yeah, so where people don't resign in this, people might play to checkmate. Um, so you'll just have to expect that. But yeah, and this bishop needs to get involved because otherwise this knight is gonna influence the game with this g7 and also if the queen's on g3 knight f6 check. Whereas the black's bishop needs to be involved and oh, does he just go here? Okay, it's checkmate threat on g7. The rook comes up and white's pieces are trying to get over, and the problem is, does this actually work? Oh wow, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Bang. You gotta give them credit sometimes. And then check here, and you can't go back to h8 because queen takes here is going to be checkmate. There. It's exactly what happened, and this is why Danilo lost this game. Because got out the opening, didn't spend enough time thinking about what was going to happen, and then this knight had an impact on what was going to happen. This bishop did not, and that's the reason why I lost. It couldn't quite get past this pawn on e5. Really nice tactic to finish the game though, and okay, it's over here, isn't it? Queen up against rook and bishop, especially with the black king where it is. So that's that one done. It looks like Christian has unfortunately lost to Ganguly Ayaman. Yep. So the problem is, I guess this rook's going to come across here and give this check to reclaim the pawn, reclaim the rook when it gets taken. Nice endgame play. Vismith is in big time trouble here with 6 minutes left against Vadla Moody, but he's not doing too badly. He's 2 pawns up in an opposite colour bishop endgame. Difficult to win. There's this massive discovered check on the board at the moment, but it doesn't do anything, which is great. So yeah, this is Vismith is going to have to play quickly. But he's got a win here if he can start making progress. But I'm not quite sure how he makes progress. I think maybe it's actually very difficult to suggest how to make progress. It could be a way in the future where you might be able to sack your rook for the bishop and pawn if this rook moves away, and then this pawn would actually win the game for you. Naturally, though, you really want to get these guys going forward to try and create a pass pawn on this side of the board, but I don't think that's needed just yet. I'd try and improve the king position first and go for it. But yeah, Vadla Moody was probably thinking, why am I on 52 minutes and losing? I wish I'd taken more time earlier on in the game. But okay, 2 players that are very level on time and a crazy position is Arish Murti versus Alexis Christoph and Malibran. This black king is what is the rook on a8, the king on c8. This is mental stuff. So white's an exchange down, but has 2 pawns for it. So 2 pawns and the bishop against the rook. So white is, I'd even say, winning here, because it's not just 2 pawns and the bishop against the rook. There's a rook out of the game. The king's on c8, which is dead open. White's pieces are all pretty super active, right? And these 2 central pawns are looking brilliant, so I'm pretty sure Arush is having fun here. He's just trying to make sure he doesn't fall for any tricks, checking what he's doing, because it's a crazy position. I'll definitely say that. If he's careful, he can get this won in the next 5 moves. But you've got to be careful. It's so easy to make a mistake in this type of position. And then the last board of Wales versus the international team is Odin Flanagan against David Bolochkin, and David got a victory here. Okay, right, we saw this Danish gambit, and okay, bishop c5, is that actually a move? So, oh, it's not a move. So, hang on a minute. Rushed his move for bishop c5, and it's a complete blunder. I hope these children learn from this tournament to just take their time, because that is criminal. You cannot do this. Especially when you're representing your country. You can't, if you don't know it's the move, then you take your time and make sure it's the right move, because he fell into this one, and white is better now, completely better. In fact, So okay, so it's completely equal now, which is a little bit fortunate. Was there a win there for white? Let's have a look. So, is there anything that he could have done? Don't think so. You've tried this one. Maybe not. Maybe this is just a load of nonsense because the point is here. Then he goes Queen E7. And if you take this, then I don't know how I feel about allowing this. Maybe there's some nonsense with C2, but maybe the knight hangs. It takes quite a lot of calculation, I think, to get that right. So maybe white was just happy just to win the pawn back, shall we say. And black can't castle now, so black's king's in the centre. So how did David win this then? Because it felt like he was busted there and still busted here because his king's in the centre. Okay, this pawn charges forwards and basically just blunders. So here after this move, knight d5 loses this pawn, and with that the entire advantage because the king's become safe now and David gets a little lucky. I hope he looks at this game and I hope he learns from it because his opening was terrible and he needs to be taking more time from that, but okay, got a little lucky. Oh, nice little idea here. White thought he was winning the queen, but he didn't care because he can't take the queen because it's checkmate on... Oh no, it's not checkmate, he's just winning loads of pieces for it. Thought this pawn was back on h2 then for a second. Yeah, it's not online blitz at all, but okay. So black just got a load of pieces for the queen, and then this is just game over. Nicely done. Okay, so then we've got England versus Scotland, and then Ireland versus the other England team as well to just very quickly look at. So Zach and Igor, that looks pretty level, and they've had a draw actually in that position. Okay, this is Nayan beating Raglaram. So we have the Alpin Sicilian, some sensible chess. So knight c5 loses what? Takes, bishop here, drags the queen away to take this one. b3, knight here, takes, and a4, and white is a pawn. No? Oh, it's equal. That was a very crazy passage of play there, though, right? Bishop d3. This feels unnecessary to do this, but the computer will tell you differently, I'm sure. Okay, so... Oh, is that a nice tactic or what? Beautiful tactic. And, yeah, I'm going to have to save that one. Knight e7. It's just so you play rook c8 thinking everything's fine, and then these patterns. This is just tactics training, and that's a really nice tactic by Nayan. But I don't know if he did enough to really win the game. To be honest, this is the only reason why he's won, because of knight e7. I don't think he played that well beforehand. He's got his knight to c6 at least, I guess. So therefore, you can argue that he's done well. And okay, he wins the exchange, and then I'm assuming the game is won from there. So that's a win for England, and then in this England-Scotland match we've also got Alagi versus Shianch, which has been a draw at this point. So we'll move on from there. Still going on, we've got Arnav versus Yashwardhan. Yeah, there's a lot of time left. I can't be held accountable for these players and how quickly they play their moves and fall in for some tactics, but Yashwardhan here has got 3 minutes 47 seconds left in this endgame. He's got a bishop and 3 against knight and 3. There's a pawn on h3 which looks like it's close to the end, but the white king's got it covered, and black's got to deal with 2 passed pawns here that this knight is going to try and shepherd down. So I can understand why Yashwardhan's in a bit of trouble here against Arnav, and is definitely in time trouble as well. And he needs to save this game because Raghuram lost above, and then we've had a draw on top, a draw on 3, and a draw on 5. So England have got 3 draws and 1 win, with 2 to play against Scotland here. So Yashuardan needs to hold this, and it's going to be really hard for him to do so. On the reverse, oh, it looks like this match is going to level up then, because Srinivas Rath is looking like he's going to beat Daniel Meredith, which looks like a surprise if Srinivas has not got a rating at all, because he's a whole night up here. And also 47 minutes to 4. How did he get to this situation? Evans Gambit, kudos to Daniel for playing it. Although it didn't. Sorry, what? Queen here, knight here, and you can't take on f7. Or he bottled it. He pulled out of taking an f7 here. So this is actually a line. And I guess the point is that after you go queen here, you're actually attacking a knight on a5, which is pretty nice. So that's how you win it back. So here, and then he played the wrong move of queen here, checking after c6 takes. He went b5, and Srinivas picks up a piece, and he's nursed this extra piece all the way home to this position where he's looking to put this to bed. And Daniel is hoping for a miracle to escape here. So if Srinivas wins that, it's all going to come down to this game. Scotland versus this England team. Yeah, I mean, this easily could be a draw, but I can also see white winning this as well. That pawn on h3 looks doomed. I mean, you can also see black winning it as well, which is quite weird. If he takes here, if he's able to get this king in. But I don't think it's going to be the case. I think Yashuardan's playing for a draw here. The h3 pawns are gonna, and his king's close enough to stop those two pawns coming through. So if Yashuardan can hold on to a draw, though, that would be kind of a good result. Scotland to draw with the English team, and then we have the other England team, which is England B. By the looks of things, with Rocky, a 2000 rated player in this Robinson, beating Jamie Martin. What on earth? What 11 moves? Oh no. And then, well, just don't even. You're gonna rush your moves in unfamiliar positions. That's what you get. Ewan Ding against Ruin Shankar. Looks like Ewan's won this one. So this puts England 2-0 up in this match. Just see how it happened. Sorry, what? Looks like it was just a blunder. Oh, hang on. Yeah, no, just a blunder. Unlucky there. Ruinif, sometimes that does happen. Hugo against Kanabiti still going, and this is looking like a really good game actually. Bishop v9, open kings. 20-25 minutes left on the clock. Fantastic. And also we've got Sithan De Silva and Adam Darker playing out this rip and pawn ending, which it looks like White's got a big advantage here, but these are very tricky, and that black pawn on the h-file is going to be really fast coming down this way. And so, yeah, that's a really tough endgame to look at. But we do have some results down here as well. England have won this one. Senith Thanul has beaten Atharv Singhal, and Edward Chu has beaten Liam O'Keefe in this position too. So this is, yeah, really, really close. And then a quick look at the Stokes Cup. I should imagine if those games in the older section were over, then most of these should be. So we're going to give some credit here. So it was Wales versus the international team, and Adam lost to Talab, Andre lost to Maxim. Otto is still playing against Danuga, but he's a pawn down. But we'll click on that game maybe in a second. So we'll just run through the results. Leo has beaten James, and Furion has beaten Amir. So all the Welsh guys have lost because Dylan Flanagan's also beaten Konstantin Popov as well. In fact, again, doesn't look like there's many moves played there. I wonder what the time was. And then also in the England versus Ireland match, we've got Junyi Zhang still going on against Nitish Arun. Ethan Cole still playing against Ayon Pradhan. Looks like Ireland's Cornelius Barczak has beaten Arav Katakuri. Junyan Hu has drawn with Thomas Sim, so it looks like a much more closer match. Krish Kashari has beaten George White. to level things up. And another draw on the bottom board is Adamjit Singh has drawn with Krish Bhattacharjee. Apologies for my pronunciations. Yeah, okay, so that's all level for England versus Ireland. So these top two boards here are going to be pretty important. So this is Nitish Arun versus Junyi Zhang. And White's pieces are looking pretty active here. Especially with it being White's go as well. He can just do, if he wants to, knight takes rook. If he wants knight takes rook, I am seeing a problem though with knight takes rook and bishop c6. And oh no, it's not that much of a problem. You can just take a rook and then bishop here and then go queen here. And you haven't got this move because the knight covers it, but I'm just not so sure that that's going to be long term. Like you take now and then you take the knight. How do you stop that? And the problem is that that's going to be mate. I don't think you do. I don't think you do stop it. I really don't. So that's a bit of a problem there. White's piece is looking pretty active, but there's still the opposite colour bishops on the board. Just makes it completely crazy. Absolutely anything can happen, and yeah, this is a little bit of a messy position. So interested to see what move Nitish plays. We've also got still going on in this game. We've got Ayan Pradhan versus Ethan Cole. And these two matches will define the outcome of who wins versus England and Scotland. England and Ireland in the Robinson, the under-12. I'm not liking White's position here. Ethan Cole's got he's a piece of he's an exchange down, but he's got how many pawns for it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawns and a knight against the rook, and the king's on g2. I think we can safely say here that Ethan Cole's likely to win this for Ireland, which would mean that would be a little bit of an upset in that Nitish and Junyi, unless Junyi can win that, then England will be put down by Ireland, which would be a huge result. We do have another match here as well, which I must have missed because of the screen and flicking over. So we've also got the Scottish players here. So we've got George Zhao having beaten Tavish Railwani of Scotland. Aditya Vaidyanathan has beaten Advik Mittal. Adith Prabhu and Srivastava and Sakshi Kumar have drawn. Ramsey Dari has beaten Oscar Yip. Still got one game going, but Rezin Katabi has also beaten Atticus Yip. So it looks like England have beaten Scotland by a convincing scoreline in this other match as well. With this one game still to go, with Haru Ugegi holding on here against Arthur Kendall. Rook versus Bishop up, and looks like some extra pawns going as well. So that could be another win for England with a huge score for that team. But in the other matches, England B possibly against Ireland. Looks like Ireland could emerge victorious, and the international team have beaten Wales already. But we do have Otto Bartlett-Davis still playing on against Danuga Sanketh Basnayek, and trying to get only half a point for the team. He's currently a pawn down. He's literally just played this move, pawn to a5, which is a big risk, but maybe it had to be played. And it's a big risk because the bishops are on dart squares. It can be attacked, but I think it probably does a really good job actually of fixing this pawn on b7, because he can defend it with his bishop. So I'm just wondering here actually that this little plan here of just like king here and king here, that could be pretty good, but I think what's going to happen is Black's going to sack his bishop here to draw the bishop out, and then he's going to take this pawn. And that could be game over, because White will have to give their bishop up for this pawn here, and it's whether this white king can race to this g7 pawn before this pawn races this way. So maybe Black can play this a little slower actually, to try and get that a bit better. But okay, enough time has gone by. Let's go back to the main event, the Glorney and the Gilbert parts. Some big results have come in here, which is really bad for Wales. in their chase for the first ever Glorney Cup victory. Looks like unfortunately Bence has gone down to Roman. His position didn't look that great, to be fair, and we don't even know where we saw it from. Somewhere around this area here, and we thought Black was just about doing okay here, but then after this, Queen F7, and he resigned here. Is this where he resigned? Is it just the pin on the knight? Is that all it is? You just can't stop this pin from being great? Can he play on from here? He can. I'm just checking on the settings as well. Can you not go like... I mean, it's definitely better for white, but you play rook d7, right, to try and survive? I guess the problem is this is all coming in, isn't it? Queen e8 check, maybe. King here, and then... hang on, maybe we go... Queen f8 check, king here. Oh no, we do want the queen on e8. Queen e8, king here. Take, check. Oh no, because our queen's attacked, so we don't want that one. The queen would have to move. Maybe this is okay actually. And then the threat is bishop here, queen here, checkmate. Feels like there could be a way out of that. But maybe I'd have played on a few more moves, but I can understand why he's lost. And it also looks like Ellison also went down. He was a pawn down there in this position, and I don't know what happened here. It looks like he just gave away all of his pieces just because he wanted to. So what happened here? He did queen takes knight. Is that the move that he actually played? He did queen takes knight. Was it that bad? His queen's trapped in. Oh, that's so unlucky. Oh, okay, right. Well, it was in a tough position anyway. So, okay, the other guys are going to have to bring it home now. Looks like Ethan will get a win. If he can convert this. His king is surprisingly open here, even though Black's king. So he's got to be very careful here, but we do need him to bring down that win. Chen Zhen here is looking pretty good against Vivash. This is still a positive position for him. He could get a win here. And so it's all going to come down to what the result on this board is going to be. Owen Cave versus Maxim Larchikov. Two players I'm sure I'm going to be playing a lot myself against in the future. And this is, yeah, it's still looking very even. Oh, hang on, is Black winning a pawn here? Not quite. He's got to do rook takes rook first. If he just takes the pawn back immediately, then this rook exchange here leads to him losing this pawn. So therefore he's got to swap rooks on the 8 first and then take the pawn back. Black's very active there. I think Maxim would be the happier one. Okay, scrolling down, we've still got some other players and other teams going on. So that's Wales versus the international team. We've got England versus Ireland here, where we've got 2 draws and a win for England on the scores already. So England are ahead, and this one is looking like a... Well, to be honest, 2 bishops each on the board. Anything could happen, but it's looking very drawish between Jack and Atharva and Austin against Gabriel. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that Gabriel had a tough task before. He was at that b5 stage, actually, that he was at. Where is it? b5 back here. Is it b5 here? No, we didn't see this position. It's this position, this b5, that we saw it at. I thought Black was going to have to do very good work to survive this, and I think he has. His knight b8 move, I did not see that move coming in the short time I looked at it, but it looks like he's just about got his king active, got his pieces active. I think Austin's going to have to really work here to win this. Playing this move seems to be quite hard, but maybe it's possible. He could try and give that a go. Okay, and then Dominic has beaten Rahul as well. King d5. Okay, so this was an endgame that we looked at probably. Scrolling back a little bit. Where was this from? We did not see this. This is this one. So we did sack the exchange with rook takes bishop. Said that was one of his ideas. And the point is that he gets to this point. Okay, and look at this. This is the threat. which he can't do anything about actually, which is maybe Rook F1. Rook F1's possible, is it? Rook F1. This is a move that he can do. He might be able to play Rook F1, but okay, there's this knight here, check, winning the queen. So no, we can't get away with this. So he's basically just lost. Okay, so he tries this to get out of it, but it's just an easy king and pawn ending for Dominic. So we saw that this had been a draw for Scotland versus England. They've also drawn board 3, 1 on board 4 for England, Carl versus Zachary, we saw that, and a draw on the bottom board. So here in this board here then, Scotland has to win, and in order to get something out of the match, and they're not going to get something out of here. James Merriman looks like he's Rook and Knight. He's got Queen versus Rook and Knight is just too much. Plus with the King being exposed, I'm sure just a simple Rook lift is going to win this game for James Merriman. So I think England are going to beat Scotland in this match. So that's all of the Glorney games gone over. We'll just flip over to the Gilbert again, and then we'll take a bit more of an overall view. So Bronwen did win that game against Sahana Chakraborty. So Wales have won their match 2-0. The third game, I think the international players didn't have a team player. But then we've got some other matches. So one of the key matches here was that Prisha Gupta has beaten Sophie Mehta, giving the Ireland team a 1-0 head start against England on this match. So May Cataby against Nicole White was a very close game, and it looks like it's got even closer. May's not being able to activate this dark square bishop, and so actually Nicole is hanging in there, and they only need half a point for a draw. So they want the win, but it looks like this game looks like it's over. Julio's going to win this. He just needs to promote to a queen, and it's going to be a win for Julie. So that's going to level up the scores. So it's all going to come down to this game of Nicole versus May Cataby. And May's only got 4 minutes left. So not much has happened. It's a very, very close position, isn't it, at the moment? So I think Nicole giving up nearly 200 rating points here, and I think she'd be quite happy with a draw. As we see this dark square bishop that I was talking about a while ago, is it going to start to make its mark on this game? Bishop d2 is the threat. Going to take the knight and win a pawn. That's what black needs to do. Get that bishop active. All of black's pieces are pretty good here. The queen's kind of ready to come out this way if it needs to. Maybe could be better placed, but the rooks are ready. The knight's in a good spot. Not really attacking anything. We prefer it to be on d4, but you can't really change that right now. So May might press this with only 4 minutes left. She needs to get the win for a team. And then we have this other match here where, we'll come back to Emily and Chrissa, but Florence went down to Adam Sheikh, and we had a draw on the bottom board as well, which we kind of already saw. So here, Chrissa has to win this against Emily Matten, and she's not going to. Emily's going to be pressing this with the extra pawn to try and win it. So it looks like England are going to beat Scotland in this Gilbert team as well. So let's go back and have a look at the Robinson. Just take a bit more of an overall view because we had a look at a lot of these games. So we've still got this game here, which is Vismith Prabhu is black from Wales. He's going to be a good player, Vismith, if he keeps going. Got a rating advantage against Vadlamudi Saidaraj, and he's got 2 extra pawns, but opposite colour bishops, which makes it difficult. So I'm just wondering here how he's going to improve this, how he's going to make this better. I think there was a comment in chat before about getting the king to g6 or something like that. Maybe you're talking about the black king, you're talking about the white king. These pawns, they do seem a little inflexible at the moment. It's very difficult to start moving them forward, which is a bit difficult. Trying to think. Let's have a look. See how the stream's looking on Twitch. I'm just going to load it up on my phone. Good. Okay, yeah, and he's only got 4 minutes left, Vismith, so he's got his work cut out here, and he knows that this is winning. But how to win it, and he's probably done the right thing. He's trying to get his king active. He's got to get his king even further forward, but it's very difficult, and I can understand why he's if he does mess that one up, I can understand why. But sacking the rook for the bishop and pawn is the thing to look out for. If you can do that, then this pawn will occupy the rook, and then the extra two pawns over here will win it for him. So if he gets that opportunity, he should probably take it, but unfortunately he's going to have to start moving these 3 pawns, and they need the king and rook over there in order to do that. And the other game still going is Arush versus Alexis, and Arush was way ahead in this game, wasn't he? But threatening checkmate here with queen c7. Absolutely crazy position. It still looks like a crazy position. Those pawns have gone forward a couple more. He should be bringing home a win there for Wales. To go with David's win, Christian lost, Danilo lost, and Yaroslav lost. So actually Wales, if Wales win these last 2 boards, it would actually be 3-3 between Wales and the international team, which would actually be a bit of a result considering we've lost the top 3 boards for that. Okay, we've got England versus Scotland. So we've got a draw on top boards, Zakva and Igor. Nayan we saw beat Ragharan. We've got a draw on board 3 between Alaga and Trianch. And Kyle and Aditya Mattel have drawn as well. And so the only games left, so that puts England 1 up. Arnav Kumar against... Okay, so this is a draw. So well done, Yashwardhan. You've managed to get yourself a draw here for your country. And actually that could be a really pivotal draw, because I'm pretty sure wasn't Srinivas absolutely winning this game. But no. Srinivas, you were a whole piece up, completely clean in this game. This was looking like it was going to be an easy win. How did this happen? This seems so simple. Brought your king over to this side and just let these 4 pawns march forward. And if White's able to swap off the pawns... Oh, you allow the invasion on the 2nd rank, and now White's got to h5. This is... I mean, it's winning, so says the table bases, but I can understand why Srinivas might struggle to win this. This is... I think Daniel Meredith's given himself a chance here to get half a point for his team. This is easy to make a mistake here. From being a piece up, Srinivas, and that early mistake by Daniel, he's fighting back here. He's only got 2 minutes 45 on his clock. Maybe Srinivas should have invested some time just to make sure he had control over the position, just to bring it home. But he needs to win, otherwise his team is going to go down. We saw that Rock Ewan's Ewan Ding have beaten compatriots Jamie, Martin and Ronik Shankar from Ireland. England have also won on boards 5 and 6 as well, so they're 4-0 up with 2 to play. So here we've got Hugo Sweetman against Connor Beattie. True. In this game, no. Okay, those 2 white pawns are looking pretty dangerous. The white king is quite exposed, though. There should surely be quite a lot of checks, maybe queen b5. But yeah, I think that those white pawns are going to be pretty dangerous now. Black's got maybe a couple of checks here, but I can see the checks running out. I think Hugo might be trying to press here for a win and try and get a point for his team, because they're currently on the 4. They've only got 0 out of 4 at the moment. And then we've got here, this was that really complicated rook and pawn ending, which I'm sure was not played perfectly. I think even I'd wouldn't play it perfectly either. We've got Sifan De Silva and Adam Darker playing. Pawn up for Sithan, but it's not a case of being a pawn up in these positions. It's like, who's got the quicker pass pawn? And so even though White's got this extra pawn on the queen side, this guy's going to decide what's going to happen. And White's going to have to start going defensive, and he already has done. His last move was rook f7. And the point is that he has to bring his rook back. He can't not bring his rook back. And it's a case of, can Black support that pawn going forward, or is he going to get distracted by White's pawn? So that's going to be a fascinating watch as we come into the close. Let's have a quick look at the last games in the Stokes Cup. I'm sure most of these are finished now. We've already seen a lot of them. So Otto, I'm afraid, did go down. Did we see the sacrifice that we thought? So we saw it up to this point here. So Otto played King C8, and then Bishop G1. I missed that move. Okay, so he takes here, and he can't sort bishops because the H pawn's too quick. And okay, it's just game over. Check. Okay, unlucky. Yeah, Bishop G1, H2, nice move. Unlucky there, Otto. Well done for playing a long game. And Wales have lost 6-0 to the international team. Hang on, let's just go back. Look at it from the big view. And then we've got here Nitish and Junyi drew their game. That was looking pretty crazy. Ethan Cole did beat Ian. So hang on a minute. Does that mean that Ireland have beaten England if that top board was a draw? Because it was a draw there. A win for England, a loss for England. So it looks like Ireland have beaten England in the Under-12 Stokes Cup there with this nice win by Ethan that we saw. But here was this a draw at the end? So how did this actually come to be a draw? So he went Rook B8, King G7, and then he played his Queen in. And yeah, mind you, Nitish is the one pushing. So Nitish is the one pushing, but his team only needs a draw. So why bother? Yeah, that's the right thing to do. Your opponent's only got a minute left on the clock. You've got a better position. Your team only needs half a point. Safety first. Get the victory for your team. Well played, Ireland. And then we've got another page here, which is the second England team, or maybe the first England team, depending which way you want to look at it, against Scotland. And I think we've seen that they were comfortably ahead. So yeah, win for England, win for England, win for England, win for England, win for England. I think Yugaki was Harua. How do I pronounce that? I don't know. Haru? Yugaki was trying to hold this against Arthur, but it was an exchange down, so not going to do it. So England have won by quite a heavy margin there, 5.5-half, with only the one draw. So a lot of those games have finished, and in fact all of those games have finished, haven't they? Every single one. Yep, all finished. Yep, all done. So just to recap, England beat Scotland. Ireland beat the other England team, and Wales lost 6-0 to the international team in the Stokes Cup. So we click on the Robinson now, just to look at this. So Wales were 3-0 down from the top three boards. They've won board 6, and they've got two really good positions. Vismith with a really difficult endgame, trying to make progress. And then Arush should have a nice victory against Alexis coming up, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes. Wales could draw this. They could draw this against the international team. The England team against Scotland. So draw, win, draw. And then, so the point is that the Scottish player Srinivas Rath has got to win against Daniel Meredith to level up this tie. This is a critical game in this match, and the only one pretty much in the Robinson still going that matters. England have beaten Ireland. They're already 4-0 up, with 2 games still to play, by the way, where the Irish players are trying to win in both games, but they're already 4-0 up, so it doesn't matter for the overall result. So it's whether Srinivas can actually hold the win against Daniel Meredith here, and it's looking like a very technical game. 41 minutes on the clock. Please use your time, Srinivas. Please use it to make sure you play the best moves, but that's going to be critical. The Gilbert Cup was nearly over, wasn't it? Wales had already finished. We know that Wales have won against the international team. England, so Julio did win that game, so they've just leveled up England versus Ireland. So it's all coming down to May Catterby against Nicole White for the result of this entire match. If it was a draw, it would be a level. Win for Black, then win for May Catterby as Black, it would be win for England, or win for White. And I have to say that May Catterby's Queen, Bishop, Rooks looks so much better than the Queen and Rooks of Nicole from Ireland. And May's really pressing home. She's only got a few minutes left, so she's got time advantage, Nicole, but Black's pieces just look so much more active. I think May's going to go on to win that one. And then also we've got England versus Scotland. a draw on bottom board, a win for England on board 2, and then Emily Matten's not going to lose this as black in the pawn up against Krisa Mitraka, so she's going to be playing for the win there, and so it should be a win for England. But really, most of the games that we all want to see in the Glorney Cup, a lot of them are finished, of course. We know that Wales have... So Ethan did win that game against Vanik Singh. Let's just have a look at how he did his... how he actually did win it in the end. So we got this position here. Hang on, is that a forced draw? Queen G3, King H1. Could he have gone there and just got a forced draw? I don't know why he did that. Black was playing for a win. And actually went on to lose. Oh dear. What a crazy game. And Vanik Singh, you should have taken the draw there because I thought your position was horrendous. But then you played on from here and now it's just this king gets mopped up and it's checkmate. That is very fortunate for Wales winning that game. That is crazy. So that actually puts it as 2-1 to the international team. Chen Chen was looking to try and win this though, I think. Oh, hang on, what's happened here? Did we win a piece or something? What happened here? So, Xuan Wu is pushing in this position. Got a nice position. Rook takes knight. What? Oh, it's a simple tactic. The knight's holding on to the rook and the queen's attacking it. Oh, that's just... I guess that's what happens when you've only got a minute 20 left on your clock by move 30. And so he just takes the knight, wins the piece, takes the pawn. Oh, and he can't even take the rook here. Because I'm guessing this just wins. Okay, the queen can come back to block, but after rook takes and rook takes, but you're just a piece up as white. So looks like he's the queen can just move to... Oh, he's probably tempted by this move now. But as long as he doesn't do anything silly here, he's a piece up. Queen takes rook d8, looks like a really good move too, but I don't see any need to sack the queen for 2 rooks here. Give your opponent drawing chances with the queen. Just defend the rook with the queen and then swap them all off. Win the game simply. That should make it 2-2. Is it 2-2? Yeah, because there's only 5 boards, isn't there? That'll make it 2-2 with this game left to play. Urin K versus Maxim Lachikov. And what is bishop versus knight, but Maxim Lachikov's a pawn up. So Urin Cave is going to be fighting tooth and nail here to hold this. His rook and bishop are looking pretty active though, which gives him some chances. And if that bishop can cement itself here, it'd be great. I have a feeling this knight might sit on this square, and that would be difficult to cement the bishop on this square. If so, I guess the problem is maybe this rook's just attacking the c6 pawn after the knight moves, and maybe black is thinking of rook here and rook here. Rook c8, rook f7 to try and attack the bishop. Is that endgame going to be good for him? Is it going to be bad for him? And I guess the problem is, if he goes here, takes, rook here. Oh, he hasn't got king here. This doesn't quite work, which is a shame. You could try this intermezzo and then go check like this, but king here looks problematic. So the rook endgame is probably okay. You've also just very simply got just rook here, because if you take c6 you lose d4 and black's the one that's trying to win. But I guess here at this point after rook a4, what Maxim's trying to do is figure out, do I want a rook endgame here? Do I want to keep the knight and bishop on to try and win this? Inward Cave's got a really tough defensive duty to do. It's going to be 2-2 in this match. He has to hold to keep the hopes alive for Wales in the Glorney Cup and take it to a match against England A tomorrow, to decide who's going to win the Glorney Cup. That's an absolutely huge game that we're going to be watching right now. Let's just double check that we have a look at the rest of the scores though. So England versus Ireland. This is England B. 3 draws there, a win for England and a draw there. Oh, hang on. Yeah, a win for England on the bottom boards and 3 draws. So it comes down to this game. So Gabriel Landmark needs to win this game against Austin Ivan to level up the match for Ireland against England B. He might actually be pretty close here. That B pawn is he was really under a lot of pressure beforehand, and Austin Ivan's time's gone down. He's lost a lot of control over this position. It's looking a little crazy though. Right, the knight's attacking the rook, so the king's going to come in and maybe attack the knight. He could just keep pushing the pawn maybe to attack the rook, but then again I guess he takes the rook with check, so therefore he's not going to push the pawn just yet. So you've got to do something about his knight and his rook after that. But he moves the rook to here, and he's got a discovered check with the knight coming. This is a crazy position. Absolutely anything can happen. Gabriel's giving himself a chance here, moving quickly. Yeah, I'm all right with that actually. I think this is looking pretty good. Let's just have a look what's going on here. Let's have a look at some of the tweets that have been sent out. Thanks for putting the picture on, Nigel. Okay, right, so we'll come back to this, just make sure all the other games are finished. Then we had Scotland versus the other England team, the England A team, and the James Merriman has won and Carl's won, so we know that England A have beaten Scotland in that match. So this is really tight stuff here actually at the moment. So if we're thinking about who's actually going to win, then it doesn't necessarily, so we just scroll to the end, so all of these games are finished here. So we scroll to this one. So really, oh hang on, what's happened here? He's sacked the queen for the two rooks. I'm not sure if I'd have done that. I'm really not sure if I'd have done that at all. You had it simple, right? Could we have just have played queen e5 here? What's wrong with queen e5? Why give your opponent a chance? Here he's took the rook, and while you get an extra point, shall we say, and you get a pawn, and your bishop and pawn is sent. He's okay, I think. He's okay because the bishop covers the checking diagonal. But this is still very risky. You've got to basically hit this g7 pawn now with stuff like this. But you're very risky here. I hope that he's not made a mistake from doing that, Chen. He should be able to do that. What has happened on this game? We've got a result in. Urunkay they've taken a draw. Seriously, rook c8 and he offered a draw? Why would Maxim offer a draw in this position? It might well be drawn, but your team needs you to win. You can push. You might only have 4 minutes left, but your opponent's only got 7 minutes left. You've got an extra pawn, haven't you? Or am I miscounting? Can I not count properly? Has he seriously offered a draw? This is crazy, no? And maybe just tying us 4 rounds in, thinking I'll just make sure we get the points for our team, gets the team up to 2.5 points to get the half point in the bag. But wow, that is absolutely huge for Wales to come back with Benson Ellison losing first, Ethan coming back when his opponent had a forced draw to win. Cave holding this to a draw, maybe somewhat fortunately, and then really what we need to happen is we need Chin Chin to win this game, and then that gets us the extra point and gets us a half point. And if we go to the Glorney under 18, and we go to the just the cross table here, they've added some results in already. So England were actually half a point behind Wales at that point, but that's England A, isn't it? So how have England A done in this round? So they probably won, but it doesn't really matter because Wales play England A tomorrow. So if Wales can beat England A tomorrow, Wales will be victorious. But we have to win this game. We have to win this game now, in order to put ourselves in with a shout. Maybe even it doesn't matter if we lose this game, we drop the match points. But we still, if we beat England A tomorrow, then we will win. Because we'll catch them up most likely we'll catch them up on match points, or most likely catch them up on game points then. But that is absolutely huge. We'll flick over here as well because this is Gabriel against England, Austin Ivan from England B. So Gabriel's trying to win this game to level up the match for his team, and he's technically losing. He's a pawn down. His king's in the worst position, but he's got chances here, so he might also bring it back. England A did beat Scotland with a few draws dotted in there. So yeah, 3 draws dotted in there and 2 wins, so they beat them by what, 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 1.5. So that's another 3.5 points for them. It's not a huge score, 3.5. Sorry, it's not 3.5, 1.5. It's 1, 2, 2.5, 3.5, 1, 2, 3, 3.5. Yeah, it's 3.5, 1.5. What am I on about? Doesn't make sense then for some reason in my head. But okay. Okay, so Gable's trying here. He's got 10 minutes left to Austin's 1. Anything can happen. But really, at the top of the table, it's this match. And if he wins this, then okay. England will go to... I don't know what that 7 is there. Wales will go to 7 match points. England will go to 8 match points. And so Wales will be just behind them in the tournament. Let's just have a recap though of, so they should have probably put the results in for the girls sections as well. Okay, so we're still waiting for those to be completely updated. But it was looking like, if we just flick around to it, so we can come back to that because that's going to be a few more games left, because we had May Catterby, didn't we, against Nicole White, and this is going to decide the England versus Ireland match. England B versus Ireland, and it's a little bit of a time scramble for May Catterby. She's got 44 seconds left to Nicole White's 10 minutes or more. So Nicole's keeping the time high, which is probably wise. It forces May to find the win. She has to find the victory. What's the winning knockout blow? Opposite coloured bishops on the board now, which is an important point. White's bishop actually isn't doing too much on this square. Apart from defending d5, that's all it's doing. So maybe it needs to reroute itself somehow, but I'm not quite sure how she's going to do that. So May's maybe just moving side to side, creating some simple threats, hoping that a weakness comes out. And then we've also got Emily Matten trying to grind down Krisa Matraka, and it looks like she's making headway with a king before bringing these pawns forward. She might be another 2 hours trying to win that game, I should imagine. Did we have any more games? I know the Stokes was all finished. The Robinson we had... Oh yes, we had... okay, so first of all, Arush Murty has beaten Alexis Christoph Malibran, so that brings it back to 3-2 to the international team against Wales. But we've got one more game going on, which is Vismith Prabhu, who's doing his absolute utmost to convert these extra 2 pawns in this opposite colour bishop plus rooks endgame against Vlad Lamudi Saidaraj, and I think he's done well actually since the last time we looked at it. We looked at it somewhere back, somewhere around here it was. We started to look at it, wondering how he was going to try and make progress. Did some stuff with his king, and it was this move h5. Good move, because the bishop is overloaded. He defending this pawn, so therefore it can't take this pawn on h5, and actually swapped off that pawn, and now he's got 2 connected pawns coming down. Kept the rooks on the board. Some trouble here with just this simple threat of rook b5 check, winning a pawn. Sure, it's something he can deal with though. Even if he loses that pawn, he's still got great chance to win, because when these 2 pawns start coming forward, it's going to create some checkmate threats against this white king, which will be really quite something. So I'm lucky here actually that the games that are really, really tense at the moment are all involving the Welsh players. Oh no, what has happened here? This is sneaky stuff. I said you shouldn't have given away the queen. And we had some checks here, and then this move, queen e3 check, out of the blue. Queen e3 check comes in. Oh no, could that be Wales's moment? Gone. Could this be it? It's going to be stalemate when he takes the queen, and there's nothing he can do to prevent that queen from coming in. It's just going to be too much. So wherever, even if he moves the king, he's just going to go something like queen here check. You can't move the king to h3. You get checkmated yourself, which would be even worse. But he's just going to have to take the queen, and it's going to be stalemate. He's fallen for a stalemate trick right at the end when he had a simple decision back here. After h6, just keep the queen on, just play queen e5. And no need to do anything else in this position. Queen e5, just same material on. You're a bishop up. Bishop and a pawn up actually, with a threat of taking this pawn on h6, swapping off the rooks this way. Nothing can go wrong from this position, whereas this position here, I wasn't expecting it to be a stalemate trap, but oh my days, this is absolutely huge. And Ewan Cave did really well to get the draw on board one. This is going to have to be a draw, which means that Wales are going to go down. Was it 3-2 in the end? Yep, 3-2, because he's got to take the Queen now. He can't not take the Queen. And he's going to be absolutely gutted. But that is tournament chess. Absolutely huge. And I think maybe Vivash was even looking for it. The way he played b5, the way he put his king on this square, he was probably sensing that there was a chance there. And you've got to take every half a point when it comes. And with the time ticking down, it's difficult to see it coming. Yeah, really beautiful resource at the end. And he will be gutted. But you know what? Wales lose 3-2. We look at the teams, look at the scores. We'll lose 3-2. England will get 3.5 up. So, okay, England were already half up there. So Wales are actually ahead by half a point then. So if we get 2 points, they get 3 points. We're actually only going to be 1 point behind. But we play them tomorrow morning. Wales, England A tomorrow morning. If Wales, well, to be honest, just winning because you can win 3-2, that's going to be catching up on the match points and catching up on the game points. And I guess in a direct encounter, Wales would win if that's the rules. I have to check up on that. But if Wales beat England tomorrow, Wales could win the Glorney Cup for, I think, the first time ever. Very unlucky to not win this match against the international team just now. But that's what happens, I'm afraid. So he's taken it, and this is stalemate, right? Yeah, just so unlucky. Tie breaks are in the annotations. Okay, we're going to look at those when we've finished. Gabriel is still trying here against Austin Ivan, which does not look like Gabriel's trying anymore. With the knights off, only white can win this. So I should imagine here that England are going to be beating Ireland, the England B team. So let's just flick around, because I know that we had Gilbert Cup. We had, okay, so May Catterby and Nicole White have agreed a draw. She couldn't break through, so Ireland have held England B to a draw there. So kind of a good result for the Irish girls. Emily Matten is still going to grind away here against Chris Mitraka. I feel sorry for you, Chrisa, because it's just a miserable position to be in. You've got to slowly wait there. You're one of the last ones sat there. And okay, she's swapping off bishops now to leave it in this knight endgame, which is surely lost. But she's still got drawing chances. You can't give up here. You've still got to play on. So we'll go to the Robinson Cup, because we had Wales were 3-2 down at this point, and Vismith is trying to win this game. King G1 played, little tactic coming up of rook takes bishop check. So he's got to be aware of this. He's got 2 minutes 40 left on the clock here. Please move that rook first of all, is what I'm going to say. Or maybe he doesn't want to move the bishop. I guess he could. You know, is bishop here? Is that winning? I probably would not risk it. I would not play bishop d4 here, giving away the rook and taking his rook. Why risk it? Just move your rook to the side. Just bring your rook over here. You know, put the rook here. The bishop's tied down to defending the pawn. Or maybe actually even rook b2. Simple move. No risk. And then start advancing those pawns forward. That's what you want to do here, Vismith. Come on, Vismith. You can hold this game point for us. Please don't fall and do something else and allow rook takes bishop, although it's difficult to actually see what other move black would play here. Oh, he's gone bishop d4. He's gone into this endgame. What do we think? Do we think this is winning for black? Or drawn? The 2 pawns coming forward. Okay, let's turn this book off. We don't want to cheat, do we? So Vismith is a huge decision now. I would have kept the rooks on. I don't know why he didn't keep the rooks on. Was there a risk as to why he couldn't keep the rooks on here? What was wrong with just rook b2? And then just start advancing the pawns. What was wrong with this? can't see anything wrong with it. And I guess that's just decisions, isn't it? That's why these players are learning. They're juniors. They're still learning their craft. They're trying to it's not just chess skills. Sometimes it's making things easy for yourself. The game with Chen Chen before, I would not have sacked my queen for 2 rooks because we're a piece up. You just want to keep it simple. Here I would not have gone into this endgame just for the risk of it being a draw. Even if it is one, still it doesn't matter. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I think it could be a draw, which is going to be a shame because this would be match points given away by Wales when we could have had so much better. Although I guess it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? You get lucky in some games that you don't talk about, and then you get unlucky in games like this that you do talk about. So I think we'll come back to this in a bit because Vismith's going to probably try really hard to play this one. We did have a draw between Adam Darker and Stefan De Silva. Connor Beattie and Hugo Sweetman. Hugo's trying to win this with his pawns going forward. This was the crazy position. There's going to be a lot of checks left in that one. A lot of excitement, I should imagine, for both of them. Doesn't affect, I think, the result of their match, though. Let's just double check that everything's finished here. So, yes, Wales go on to lose, unluckily, against the international team. No more games there. The Glorney's all finished. Yep, and the Gilberts, we had the games finished there. May drew with Nicole. Let's make that match a draw. Wales had already won. Oh yes, we've got Emily Matten grinding away against Krisa Mitraka. And okay, how do you stop this from happening? I think that's a big problem. Knight d4 here. Something like this happens and then you go b4 check. And you lose instantly because your knight is lost. I can see something like that happening actually, because white's almost in kind of desperate territory to try and do something. 1 minute left on the clock as well for Krisa. She's had a tough couple of hours here, I'm afraid. Is knight d4 going to get played? I mean, I hope not, of course, but. I'll have a roundup of the results, I think, in a second too. Yeah, maybe knight g3 and knight here, but the problem is the black king's coming over, this knight goes to here to defend h6, and how are you going to defend h4? And maybe you can try and play h4 yourself, maybe that's the idea. Knight g3 check and knight f5. I think you have to try something like that, but knight g3 check, maybe king f4 actually. And if knight f5, then h5. So the variation here. Okay, so knight d4 has been played. Oh no, b4 check just wins. b4 check and it's game over. Emily's got 11 minutes left. She's just going to check it out. She's played it on the board. Game over. Unlucky. Good fight, Krisa, but well played, Emily, for grinding it out. Extra pawn. So that brings those matches to a close. So it's a win for Wales. England, is it England A or England B? England B drew, and England B drew with Ireland, and that's going to be a win for England against Scotland. So in the Gilbert, it looks like it's still going to form at the moment. So England A are going to be top of the tree. Scotland just lost, didn't they? Yeah, Scotland lost. So therefore England A are in the driving seat. Full match points. 4 wins out of 4. And they've got to play Wales next. So they'll be the favourites against our Welsh girls, even though they'll put up a fight as much as possible. So that's that one. Looking like England might hold it again. The Robinson, and we've got, okay, so it was England A and Scotland that were in the joint leads for the Robinson tournament. Let's flip down to that one. We've still got obviously a match still going on. It's a match that didn't affect the standings. Because Wales, if Vismith can win, then it will be a draw for Wales against International, but it's looking like a draw now. So okay, so this was a draw. So draw. Win for England. Okay, draw. Win for England. So it's 6 boards. This one. It's very confusing with the amount of boards. So that's the win for England. Draw. Win for England and 5 draws. So this is which England team? This is the top England team. So fair play there. England A have beaten Scotland, so they'll be in the lead. And the other England team with Rock Ewan is England B, just double checking that. They have comfortably beaten Ireland, even though there's 1 game to play. So the results, England A and England B both win. So they'll be in the driving seat. Scotland will be match points behind. Potentially could catch. But I think, though, that England A have got to play against Wales. And they'll be the favourites, I believe, against us. In the Stokes, let's look at the results. So England A were the ones that were in the lead from the international team. So let's flip over to the Stokes. So England are doing very well here. Pains me to say it, it really does. Okay, so is this the England A team or not? No, I think actually that's England B. So England B lost to Ireland. Wales have lost to the international team. The England A team won this fairly comfortably, didn't they? So it's looking like that the England A team are going to be way ahead. But the international team are not far behind them, but they don't get to play them. They've already lost to them. So I think the international team will be a close second. So England A, it's within their grasp to win it. And it was going to be the same story, I'm afraid, in the Glorney. England A are going to be ahead against Wales, but they play each other tomorrow morning. If Wales can beat England A, even if the score's 3-2, then I guess we're going to be very close on tiebreak as to see what happens. So where are these tiebreak scores? Where do we see them? Here, so official website, or is it on Chess Results, is it? Okay, so official homepage, team composition. Don't know where to click for the official tiebreak. Same match points, same game points. Could be absolutely anything, couldn't it? So 5 in the Glorney, 3 in the Gilbert, 6 in the Robinson, 6 in the Stokes. Share things here. We'll get rid of that. Official website, okay. Oh, picture of me on. I'll have to find out the answer to what happens if it's a tie-break. I mean, Wales have got to beat England first of all tomorrow in their match. You know, regardless of what happens, Wales have got to win. Otherwise, it will be what could be an England whitewash again. And even though this is the ECF streaming channel, I do play for Wales, so therefore I can't be too happy about that. But okay, some fantastic games going on. We'll just leave them on for the last. Have I just lost my live chess page as well? Just closed it down. Match points, then game points, and something you can't fathom. Yeah, so I think Wales are going to be a point behind going into tomorrow's game. So if they win 3-2, that'll level up the game points as well as the match points. So I'm wondering what the maybe I would assume direct encounter is what I would assume it would be on. Okay, let me just load up my live chess page again. Shrink you down. Oh. Something like that. How's that looking? Yeah, and we are nearly done for our commentary. We're just picking up the last few results here. So all of the Glorney's done with. We saw that, yeah, Emily's... Oh, because we're actually let to go the Queen and Checkmater. Fair enough, so Emily won that one. It's really down to Vismuth then now. This looks like a Vismuth, and there was another game down here as well. Connor Beatty against Hugo Sweetman. Hugo's really trying his hardest to win that. It looks like he's going to win, actually. Is there any more checks there for Black? He's going to Queen next go. Any more checks? For somebody 1500 to beat an 1800. Oh, he's swapping off Queens instead. He's not even taking any risks at all. Fair play. That's going to be a win for Hugo against Connor. Getting some good game points for his team. Fair enough. But this is the only real serious match that's left now. Vismuth has to win. But I'm afraid, like we've said in chat, I don't think he's going to be able to win this. But that's with best play. I mean, look at the ratings here. 1461 against 1682. Absolutely anything can happen in these end games. So I'm going to leave this one on while we wait. So if I maximise my screen, is that a bit nicer for us? There we go. Okay, let me go get a drink. Come back. They've agreed a draw. They've agreed a draw. Just as I've gone to get my drink, they've agreed a draw. So Wales have lost that match 3.5, 2.5 to the international team. That other game finished. Well, it's going to finish. So Hugo's won that one. And that looks like the roundup of everything then. So England's in the lead in all 4 tournaments. Wales have got a chance though in the Glorney. Because they play England A tomorrow. They've got to win. It's a tough uphill battle. Dropped half a point today, but you can't think about that. You've just got to think about getting yourself in the best possible shape for the game tomorrow morning. Starts at 10 a.m. You can join me here at ECF streaming, ECF_streaming. We'll cover it from start to finish. I'll make sure to have some breaks as well if it's going to be a whole few hours of chess. So I'm looking forward to it. Come on, Wales. We can hopefully nick the Glorney from England this year. We've got a chance, we've got a sniff, just need a little bit of luck. But it's looking like England are ahead in the Stokes, Robinson, Gilbert and Glorney at the moment. Are they going to make it the clean sweep? Thank you very much for joining me. And yeah, Chess, hang on, who are you saying that for? Are you saying that for England? I assume so. Chess might be coming home. But well, I tell you what, with some of the teams and juniors that England have got coming through at the moment, Chess might come home. I mean, you've got some fantastic talent. I mean, Bodhan is an amazing talent. That Ethan Pang, I didn't even know that he existed. He's 2200. He's higher rated than me. He's only like 9. What is going on there? I mean, fantastic talent. Shreyas Rules obviously improving. Can't get in the Olympiad team now because Vichuyugov has come in. And you know, it's yeah, they're doing very well, and there's still, you know, some quality players. I know that Scotland's got Freddie Gordon coming through. Ireland have got a load of great players as well. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me. I hope to see as many of you as possible at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And yeah, see you then. Bye bye, everybody. Thank you for joining.